What's up, guys? I'm Brando James. I wanted to explain and share with you what I learned in my early 20s when I quit a job in finance to travel the world. It's 10 years later, maybe 13. I'm 36 now, living in Hollywood. And yeah, when you turn 36 and all your friends are married and having houses and stuff, you start kind of thinking back on your 20s and thinking what you could have done different, what you learned, and all the things you did right too. So I'm not going to talk about regrets because I have zero regrets. Everything I did was exactly what I needed for myself at that time. And all the lessons that I pulled from it made me who I am today. And I'm continuing to learn and continuing to push myself towards bigger and better goals. So the first thing is basically knowing what you want. And that's one thing college really doesn't teach you. I'm kind of talking to people who are just graduating, thinking about that career, that job. One thing that I didn't consider was that the main purpose of the college job is literally to start a family. Like, that's the system. The college system is to get a good job, well paying, so you can get a mortgage, you can get a wife, pay for that ring, support the kids. And honestly, like, to this day, that's not my interest. I have no interest in doing that. I mean, it's sad. I wish I wanted to for my family and friends, but basically, yeah, like, I really don't want to have kids. I would like a dog. Like, a dog would be a good first step, but I'm acting right now, and even that's difficult. So, it's, I think someone who is more of like, on their own, independent, someone who's independently thinking might have different goals than the majority. So I think I'm trying to target people who are very specific and really have a different kind of internal monologue and an internal kind of direction than most people. So one thing I would say is that the nuts and bolts of it were super easy. That was the easiest part. You can get a great job out of college, and I think that's a good first step, and use that money, basically save as much money as possible. I saved about $20,000 and literally just hit the road. Like, I booked a flight. It was a free flight to Israel because I'm Jewish. So every dime I could squeeze, I did. And when I was on the road, I squeezed every dime. And that's maybe one thing I would have done different. Like, I had a flip camera back in the day, but they did have DSLRs. So, on the road, I was blogging, and I wish I had bought better camera equipment, taken the videos more seriously, and been more consistent and followed through with that, because that was something that was a big miss. And nowadays there's a lot of big travel bloggers, and it's a really competitive space, but I was definitely like an earlier mover in 2010, being on the road and just taking these short, like 3-minute videos that I would edit together. And they were great, but looking back on them, they were low quality. So I just got an iPhone 14. I'm an actor, and self-tapes are super important, so quality is paramount. This is my first YouTube video, by the way, and I'm actually doing it as kind of like a confidence booster to communicate better. So you can see I'm already being more direct, using eye contact. I'm watching a YouTuber named Alex Costa. Shout out Alex Costa. He's a Brazilian from like a poor family, moved to the US, and was awkward like a lot of us are, and went it upon himself to better himself, and when he moved to LA, basically he got jobs at Google and YouTube, and now he's this badass YouTuber who talks about style, relationships, grooming, something that I've been really interested in lately. And it's funny because in my 20s, when I was on the road, like, they called me two-pair because I literally had 2 pairs of underwear, didn't care about how I smelled, how I looked, any of that, And now you see travel bloggers, and they're super put together and super polished. So I would say the other lesson I learned is, even if you're going on a big quest to find yourself, you still need to have some end goal monetarily. Like, there's really no escaping the commercial side of life, and it's going to only benefit you if you can make money from the road. One thing I regret, and I'm still not really doing it, I'm just talking to YouTube right now with nothing to sell. Hopefully I'll sell something someday, but this guy Alex Costa sells something on every video. He adds a lot of value, and then he puts in the sell. It's always his product that he's created from scratch with the best quality ingredients, fixing a problem that he had himself, and he knows all of his followers who are interested in watching have, and it's a very win-win situation, and it allows him to continue doing what he loves. So we're losing light here, but yeah, I wish I had started adding more value with my videos. It was mainly just about finding spirituality and kind of like following me on my wandering quest. So had I been a little more concise and deliberate with the content I was putting out, it would have been something that I would have kept doing. And that leads me to my next point. Even something you love, like they say, if you love surfing, don't become a surf instructor, because that can kill your passion. So the other element was, maybe I should have figured out a way to make money on the road so I can continue to travel, but also I could also be like grounded and at home. Now I'm an actor, so I really need to be in LA, but there is an opportunity in my next vision through YouTube and through other markets is to be able to travel, pick up and go. The housing element's obviously a big part of that, and now with like Airbnb, that's a little more possible. But to do that right, you really need to own your own property and have all the permits and everything. That's a whole other topic for another video. But yeah, hopefully I'm shedding some light for someone who's trying to go off in their 20s, travel, kind of take an alternate route. My main kind of takeaway is that, like, do it in a smart way. You know, use your college degree, use everything that you've learned and, you know, the like kind of building blocks of being successful, and apply it to your new passion. With YouTube, Instagram, social media, there's no problem there. You could create your own products, create your own backpacks, build a following, you know, it'll be a lot more fulfilling. There's so many YouTubers from the era that I started that are killing it. There's this guy like Lost LeBlanc who has his own villa in Bali that he built from scratch. So, you know, a lot of stuff that I kind of missed the mark on, but again, in your 20s, you really don't see the big picture. And I'm just trying to expound some of those kind of takeaways. So yeah, that's my little talk for today. Hopefully these videos get a little more edited and polished, but just trying to build my communication skills and kind of reach out to whoever's following along. And love you guys. Let's keep the conversation going. If you have any thoughts about what I said, questions, you know, I do have knowledge to share, mainly around travel, following your dreams, living the life you want. And it's an never-ending pursuit. You know, it doesn't get easier, but it's always fun and exciting, and I'd say it's way better than, you know, sitting in an office, which is what I was doing out of college. So peace out, love you guys.